Elio guys, and welcome back to yet another account review. If you want your own personal account review done, feel free to check out the link in the description below to the Discord and we can talk up there and kind of set up things. But in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Dio's account, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright Dio, so I've already went ahead and I've taken the lovely pleasure of going through your account, and before we get into what you requested, I did take a look at your gym quality, and we need to have a talk, my dude, because I'm not sure if you're just filling sets or what's going on here, but your account's level 57, right? And I have over here in my notes, I'm not sure what's happening, so the best way to show it to you guys is literally just to show it to you guys. So everything looks fine. We have enhancements and everything going on here, right? You click on Miho. I look at her stats and I'm like, yeah, her resist is good, but look at her defense and her HP. HP, you could kind of argue, you know, it's not super duper bad, but it's like my Dark Sea Star has this much HP and she's on triple defense, so it's like, what's going on here? So then I saw the set, I'm like, okay, plus 150 defense flat, it doesn't matter as long as everything's good on the set, right? I click on this gem, there's an attack gem, a flat attack gem. My dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? There's a flat attack gem. It has crit rate on it, but you're not building her with any sort of damage, so that crit rate doesn't really matter at all. The next gem is recovery. Like, I understand it has resist on it and some HP, a little bit of HP, but she's not an active healer. She doesn't heal anyone. She doesn't heal anything in the game. So why is there a plus 12 recovery gem on her? You can keep that plus 12 recovery gem with that 21% resist and put it on like Hana or someone, for example. But Water Miho, why? And then we have a defense gem right here, which is another flat, and then there's 15% resist on that, which isn't bad, but the main point here is there's two big issues going on here. You're compromising to have sets that literally make no sense at all in terms of like the stat distribution for your monster, and you're compromising on your main stat to push substats when it should be the complete opposite. You should be concentrating right now on broken sets with percents on all your monsters. I mean, if you want to build your wood Pinolo, you can feel free to give him some flat stuff, but just general rule of thumb, at level 60, these mons should have some percents. I'm not saying the whole entire mon box need to have percents on every single gem for every single mon that you use. If there's a flat here and there, dude, I'm just like, as long as there's good subs, whatever. You lose some stats, it's not that big of a deal, but if you have really good subs, then it is what it is. But for something like this, that would instantly destroy whatever that you put into this. And I think Water Miho is a great example of this because you have her fully booked up and she's super evoed, but her gems is literally the one thing that is just absolutely destroying her. And then we take a look at enhancements over here. You have crit rate and crit damage, but you also have recovery on her. And once again, Water Miho does not heal. She does not heal, so she shouldn't have recovery on her. If you don't plan to have her more DPS orientated and you want her to be more of just like a tank, she should be on like HP defense if you want, or HP attack defense. But if you have crit rate and crit damage up there, you're making me think that, okay, maybe you're trying to build her more DPS orientated, but her gems don't dictate that either. So before you go through and start enhancing your mons, also take a look at them and realize, what, at the end of the day, how am I going to gem this mon up? If I'm going to make her offensively, or if I want more of a balanced build, then it's okay for you to have an attack percent in there. You can still throw HP percent in there. You can still throw defense flat if you want. But you would have a balance in between stuff and not this weird attack, crit rate, damage, recovery type situation that's going on here. So that's a really big point, and I went through the account and like it's just rampant on a lot of things. Like in some scenarios, I think one of your mons had like HP attack, which I've never seen before, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, who else is there? Where's she at? Wood Yuki. She's on a vitality set. So once again, I'm assuming that you're just compromising to have sets, but she has a defense gem right here with a whole bunch of recovery up there. She has another defense gem. There's no real good subs on this anyways. And then there's an attack gem. What is the goal that you're trying to get out of her is what I'm trying to get to. Like, honestly, I would just prefer if I went to an account and they had no gems on the Astramon rather than to have this, because this kind of takes time out of, you know, my analysis, because I have to kind of like, you know, I'm like, what is going on here, bud? But and so I can stop beating this dead horse. The last example I wanted to bring up to your attention and everyone's attention is Light Arthur. Okay, so Light Arthur has like 30% resist on him, very, very low crit rate. You can build him however you want. He's an attacker. I understand that, right? You have him level 60 and fully enhanced, so I'm assuming that you're keeping him, right? We go to enhancements over here. There's attack, defense, resist. There's some HP, some more defense, and some crit rate. So honestly, not that bad. You're trying to like round him out in terms of his stats. Okay, okay. You're definitely capable of doing this. It's just, I'm not sure what was going on when you're doing the other gems. Then we come over here to the gems, right? We got an attack gem over here with some defense up there. No subs, like no good subs at all. Then we have a recovery gem. Flat recovery gem. Arthur doesn't do any healing. All he does is pure damage. There's no reason for him to have a recovery gem up there. And then he has another attack gem up there with a recovery sub, and then he has some attack and resist, but they're all flat. The mon is just gemmed entirely improperly, and part of me is just like, is he trolling or is he actually serious? Because there's videos on the channel, there's videos, well not videos, but there's stuff on the subreddit, there's places like Discord, etc. that you can ask questions to prevent you from gemming your mon up like this, because 500 attack with his 3k attack stat is like nothing. 500 attack is absolutely nothing. That recovery that you have up there, you could at least do like a crit rate gem up there, but nope, we have this. But I don't want to beat a dead horse with that, so let's go ahead and move on to Titans, you guys. Alright, up next we have your Titans teams. I'm just going to drop that into the actual video itself so you can kind of see what we have going on here. But the general consensus with that is, especially according to my notes, is like hitting Wood Titan, you can do that, but it's probably only going to be one lane in like your back lane, because you do have like Wukong, you do have Shinobi and stuff. Obviously, I would say your mons need a gem rehaul before you attempt to do anything. Even if they're on broken sets, they need to have percent gems number one. But you would be using mons like your Shinobi here. You would also be using your, where's he at? Your Fire Wukong, so get him up to 60. He has a nice gem set on him. Same thing with your Poseidon here. Evo 2 these guys in the future, and they're going to serve basically as your bottom lane all across. So work on getting these guys up to 60 and Evo 2 in the future, because I also noticed that Colossus wasn't done here, but by me helping you to address your Titan issue, you should be able to do Colossus as well, because you can go in with Colossus, you can bring Sun Wukong up in there, you can bring Shinobi, you could bring Sha Wujing, and maybe a healer or someone like that, and just have them do damage and take out Wood Colossus just like that. So definitely raise these guys up. At this point in time, I would recommend like crit rate attack for Poseidon, Sun Wukong, Sha Wujing, and also your Fire Shinobi. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask it on the Discord. If not, check out the videos, because they are there as well to just help you along in your MSO journey. And then moving forward here, big issue with your potential, well, yeah, your potential way of hitting the Fire Titan, because I saw Water Acer and Water Balrona. But once again, these baby girls need to be Evo 2'd at the very, very least. Obviously, Evo 3 is optimal, but there's some things that need to be kind of fixed before we like go ham on Titans. But you would get these guys up to well, these girls up to Evo 2 level 60, get them gemmed up properly as well. It better be crit rate, attack, something similar to that, and they better be completely percentage gems, because if not, you're wasting your potential for your mons. So you're basically just destroying your potential score for gems at the end of the week, depending on what clan that you're in. You do have Water Indra as well, and then the other mons, once again, I'll drop below in the video for you to kind of to fill out. So there is some mons that you'll need to raise, but once again, taking care of this issue, you should be able to take some of these mons from over here, like your Water Acer and Byrona, plus Indra and maybe like a Water Sand Wraith, and you should be able to hit Fire Colossus no problem at all either. But once again, Evo 2, gems need to be straight. If you can get enhancements up there too, that's always nice, but not necessary at this point. And also trinkets if you can, especially try and squeeze out as many of the good trinkets, 4-star trinkets and above, that are like glowing on your crazy strikers for right now, and kind of feed them as much as you can before the update hits, because it may be a lot harder to get trinkets. So, you know, work with what you can here. And then it's going to be the same thing over here for you hitting Water Titan as well. Basically, we're going to do a mix of like your Zubaji. You have, I believe, a Wood Pinolo down here somewhere. I also saw a Wood Enkidu. So you do have some courageous strikers. Obviously, they're not Merlin, but you know, you can only deal with the hands that you're dealt here. Another thing that you have to pick up, because I obviously have it included in the video here, is you need some Hanas, dude. I don't think I've seen any Hanas. And if I did, maybe it's one. Yeah, there's that one Hana right there. You need to be getting some Hanas, and I would say probably 4 at the very, very minimum, because she's going to be part of every single lane up in here. I don't see no Wood Minicat action. I would go ahead and pick up 2 Wood Minicats. I would pick up Phibian. Just basic mons that you can kind of farm out as you play along with the game and get those all up to level 60 and evoed and skill booked. But I mean, that's going to be a big duration, so I would hold off on this project until later on, because I think you hitting fire, well, not fire, but you hitting Wood Titan may be the quickest way for you to start hopefully getting better gems, and just working on getting extra Asher gems per week, and then slowly go off from there. But I mean, that's pretty much it for Titans. I don't really see any potential in you hitting light or dark at the moment, because not only is the gem quality not there, but I think you had just a light Wendigo, and that was it. So with hitting light and dark, you would obviously have your debuffers there, but you would probably focus more on your courageous strikers just to go in there and do some damage. But until your main 3 elements are addressed, there's literally no point of you going in there and hitting them, because light and dark, they hit like a mother trucker, and your mons that have very, very low gem quality are just gonna immediately die. So hold off on that for now and come back to it at a later point in time. And alright, last but not least is your request for the Elemental Tower of Chaos. This is literally, I think, like the first account review where I've literally just stayed in your mom box, because there's so much going on here. Once again, addressing gem quality is going to be your biggest issue, which may be impacting your ability to basically progress through the Elemental Tower of Chaos, because while it's not necessarily in-game content, you do need to have certain mons built certain ways to progress through that. And I noticed throughout your mod box, especially for your fire mons, you don't have a fire Draka. So if you can address your Titan situation and maybe even pick up PvP at some point in time, you can get some more gems rolling in, and maybe concentrate on Heroes Festival if you can. That way you can get, like, hopefully with luck, you can kind of like get tons of Nat 5s that you can save for the Draka Rebirth and get Fire Draka to Evo 3, because not only will she help you out with wave clearing and dragons, etc., but also in Elemental Tower of Chaos, that's a very, very easy way to basically cheese your way up to about level 50 of the Fire Tower. Also pairing Fire Draka up there with like Fire Arthur and Fire Artemis and also Fire Hana should serve you well, because not only do you have crowd control, but you also have the ability to like nerf that monster's defense, and also if Fire Draka can get puncture off, you can do a ton of damage. So that's the easiest way I would recommend it. And once again, you can't go wrong with having a fire jacket, period. So in the future, I would definitely try and pick her up. But once again, the main issue here is just addressing gem quality, if I can speak English. And then moving on here to the water mons. Same thing with your water mons here, but it's really just you kind of focusing on your Courageous Strikers like Water Byrona and Water Acer, because that's the mons that I do end up using in the Elemental Tower of Chaos for water, though I'm only around floor like 40 something like that. You can also bring in like Water Nike or Water Shelly, depending on whoever that you want, so just so they can apply defense down and everyone else can hopefully wreck things. Water Loki in this case can be very helpful, as well as your Water Nuker if you can build him up. And it is a little bit unfortunate that you built your Water Loki that doesn't have a square slot, but it's not the end of the world. But he seems to be your only like built Water Nuker at this point in time. And it's nice that you do have a Water Sandwraith, so that's one less mon that you have to farm out for. But remember the gems, and if you take a look at his skills over here, he is critical hit reliant, so that base 10% of crit rate for his attack is absolutely just useless. If he has 10% crit rate, there is literally what, a 1 out of 10 chance of him actually using that move and it doing the damage that it's supposed to do. So fix your gem quality. There's plenty of videos, as I stated before, that you can watch and give you a better idea of how to properly gem your mons up. But that's all I have really for the Water Elemental Tower of Chaos, because it's been a little bit since I've done them, because I don't I don't like suffering. You do have a Water Sewer as well. If you need to build him up, feel free to. He's already Evo 3, so the hard part's out of the way. But he's another great mon that you can have if you need some type of crowd control to go with your damage dealers or your nuker paired with your defense downer. In terms of Wood Elemental Tower of Chaos, obviously you can't go wrong with John here. Super duper easy to build. You can get a whole bunch of damage off of her. You already have her super evoed as well, so it's at this point it's just like, why not? Why would you not use her? Other mons that could be helpful would be Wood Banshee, because she can clear out, not necessarily clear out waves fast, but she can get her defense down off super duper quickly, which is always nice. And her attack stat really isn't anything to scoff at either. Other mons like Wood Arthur that you're working on getting an Evo 3, that could be a potential good choice too, because as long as he's self-sustaining and he's not being able to like not act, once he gets that stun off, things should be looking up for you. And then I think there was maybe one other one. Also, I mean, Wood Hana. You can't go wrong with being able to apply attack down, so your other mons, like Arthur here, takes less damage, and then she can also apply defense up, just to help things stay tanky and, you know, prevent all the Feral Astromon from dying. But that's pretty much my only suggestion there for those. And we'll move down here to your Light Mons. So you have Light Hana, which is super duper great. I would definitely run her lead because of the Discernment lead. And then you also have Light Yuki. You have Light Suck. You can use your Light Arthur. There's Light Leo. You have a whole bunch of options basically of what you want to do. Look, there's even a Light Sha Wujing. But there's a whole bunch of options that you can do. But I would run that Hana lead. That way, if you run in with like Yuki, Arthur, and Succubus, for example, you can at least have some confidence, shall I say, let me reword that hopefully one of the shocks will stick, so it can prevent the Astromon that you're fighting from acting. And then Suck can be there to kind of heal the squad up with Hana. Same thing with like Leo, but the main consensus for the team is just having a whole bunch of crowd control at this point in time. And it's worked for me. It's just that unfortunately, especially in Elemental Tower of Chaos, I feel like some of the stuff is just up to RNG, and sometimes RNG just screws you. You also have Light Wild Thing, so if you want to build her up as well, that's always super duper good, because having a defense down Lightmon in there is definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. So get her up there too. And then for your Dark Mons here, I saw Dark Suck, which you had super evoed. That's great because you now have a crowd control mon. There's Dark Hana, so you can use the Dark Hana lead. Get that Zeal action going on. Help Suck to make sure that her stuns are going off here. And then in terms of damage dealers, you do have Dark Imperato, so you can get him raised up with his lovely, lovely Hunter. The other mons here that could be potentially useful for you is Dark Gilgamesh. He doesn't have a square slot, not the end of the world. Just, you know, either get like a gem slot converter, or we need to increase that gem quality there, so he could definitely help you in the Tower of Chaos, the Elemental Tower of Chaos that is. And then there's also Yuki as well, that should not necessarily get the job done, but you should be progressing a lot further than what you are at the moment. And that pretty much wraps up the Elemental Tower of Chaos. In terms of the regular Tower of Chaos, let's go over here and take a quick look at it, because I honestly have not, since I was like caught up with everything else going on in the account. So you're at floor 108 out of 120. Floor 110 I think is it Light Griffin and those guys? Let's take a look at your team though. So yeah, very, very interesting thing that you have going on here with your Wood Kokumaru, your Fire Shiva, and then your Fire Arthur. So what you could do here is you could run something similar to what I do. Obviously it's not going to be the same, but something similar here where we're going to use Hana for that discernment lead. And then who else do we have here? You have Dark Suck, which will be there basically for stuns. She can kind of act as your Dark Merlin, you could say, even though he has SP Siphon and stun. If not, you could always put in Dark Yuki instead. And then you do have a Light Yuki, so if I could find her, we can put her in over there. You have Light Yuki, and then you could also throw in maybe Light Suck if you want. That way Light Yuki and Hana can kind of share the aggro with Suck. You could plop in Light Leo. You could pop in Dark Yuki if you want. But something like this composition should do you quite well, because Hana's lead is going to make it to where if you run a mon that can apply crowd control moves like stun and shock, etc., it makes it to where there's a higher percentage of it actually sticking and it working. So as long as it works at least to some degree and prevents even half of the mons on the field from acting, then you're doing good, and you should not have too many issues with clearing it out here. If you can get Gilgamesh up as well, having him partnered up with another Darkmon will be super beneficial to him, because not only not only will he not take as much aggro, but he'll hopefully be able to get his puncture off. So if you can get him to Evo 3, that will definitely help kind of solidify his stats right there. And yeah, you should definitely be able to do Elemental Tower of Chaos up to floor 120. The main issue though is obviously gem quality. But that's pretty much it for this review, Dio. You're level 57. Your account should not be in this format, but I'm glad that you came by. I didn't mean to be hard on you. Hopefully I didn't come off as hard on you. I was just pointing out examples and issues in the account that you need to fix if you want it to be super duper good, because you obviously have a lot of luck with pulling your mons. If you have like a, light Sha Wu Jing, not saying that Sha Wu Jing is amazing, but you have a ton of light and dark Nat 5s, or just Nat 5s in general, that are built up in kind of Evo 2, Evo 3-ish, just not fully, fully take into account of their abilities, that you could just work on, and your account would literally be perfectly fine. You would be able to contribute in Titans, you would be able to do Colossus, you could in the future do the dimensional dungeons and stuff of that nature. So I definitely hope the video helped. Once again, if you guys want your own account review done, just play the beginning of the video, and yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. See ya.